Hi, my name is Dr. Myava Clark, and I help parents and caregivers of neurodivergent children find emotional support and practical tools without burnout while guiding their children towards meaningful friendships. Tonight, I have a special guest. I have my reason why. I have my reason why I'm on this platform. I have my reason why I'm showing up tonight. And that is my wonderful, handsome son, Chris Clark Jr. And we're just going to have a conversation tonight about how we got started, why we're here, and where we are now, and why just some of our story. So, Chris, want to introduce yourself?
As you said, I am Chris Clark Jr. I am the co-founder of CASEN, which stands for Collaborative Advancement for Social and Emotional Needs. I'm a former athlete, current retail worker, and the proud son of the host of this fine program. Hey, Mom.
Hi, son. So let's have a conversation. For those of you out there, Chris is neurodivergent. And if you don't know what neurodivergent is an umbrella term for many, many different diagnoses and things such as ADHD, dyslexia, um, autism, all anything where your brain thinks a little differently or you respond a little differently, it's under that neurodivergent term. So that is the new, I guess, term of endearment for a lot of people, and some people still may not be comfortable with it. We've grown to accept it, and we're good with it. So that's a word that we choose to use. And another thing is where some people say disabilities, we don't like to use the term disabilities. We like to say unique abilities or exceptional. So and the way I look at it is we all think differently. So technically speaking, we all are neurodivergent. However, if you don't have one of the diagnoses, you will be referred to as neurotypical. And if you have a diagnosis, you would maybe referred to as neurodivergent. So that being said, I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page as we're having this conversation. And I will start the backdrop, and then Chris will kind of take over and fill in some things. Well, when Chris was younger, well, Chris has two first cousins. One is 6 weeks older, and one is 3 months older than he is. And when he was a toddler, Chris Sr. and I noticed that some of the things they were doing, he wasn't able to do as well, like throw a ball or do put blocks inside of like the puzzle. It was a little more challenging. So Chris Sr. and I decided to have him tested by the intermediate unit, and we discovered that he had some developmental delays and he needed therapy. He needed physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. So we're going to pick up um, after that. I'm going to ask Chris a few questions. The purpose of this, I really want the audience to know who he is and hear him speak for himself because the past few weeks you've heard me talk about my story, you heard me talk to parents, but now it's time for you to hear from Chris himself, because we're on this journey together. And he is my reason why. He is my reason why I am on this with you tonight. And what I will say is everything happens for a reason. and you don't always understand it in real time. But if you stand long enough and you um, lean in, I believe eventually you'll find out. And this is our story for God's glory because God has turned our pain into purpose. So now, without further ado, Chris, I'm going to ask you some things, and you can share as little or as much of your story as you want. But the one thing I do ask and is you speak from your heart
Hmm.
and you let people see who you are. The wonderful man that you are today is because of what you did to get here. And we embrace our story, right?
Right.
So, you received therapy since you were a toddler, but you told me it didn't always seem different to you. So tell me about that. Talk about the process of you receiving therapy and working with me at the table, even when people weren't there, and just tell me what that experience was like.
From 2 to like 10, I believe I always thought it was a common thing. I thought it was normal, and it was all I knew. Like I didn't know that none of my peers or cousins or whatnot were having people come to the house helping. Like from a young age, that was my common experience, and I didn't. Well, I didn't think nothing was new about it. Nothing was wrong. I just being a kid, a how I didn't have a clue that it was different.
Okay. Um, what did I used to call us when you were little?
The dynamic duo,
The
and,
dynamic duel.
and I look finally on those days because I thought it was so cool that not only did you take your time out of your schedule to help me, but you, even during those tough days, you stuck with me and encouraged me to keep going. I think that's where I kind of get my like never quit attitude from those early days. And, and I think that just clues into how powerful you formerly were then and how powerful you continue to be.
Wow. Don't make me cry on here. Um, well, when Chris was younger, okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit and talk about me for a second. I am a respiratory therapist, and my undergrad degree was biology with a concentration in respiratory therapy. And when I knew that Chris Sr. and I were going to start a family, I figured I would go back to school and get my master's degree in elementary education so I could have my summers off with my children when I had them. And I did. I have my master's degree in elementary education, but guess what? I never taught primary school. When I realized the reason why I wanted to go to be an elementary school teacher is because I was intimidated and didn't want, I was too intimidated to teach adults. So I'm the person that I run towards my fears instead of from them. So when I realized I was afraid of teaching adults, I applied to teach adults because I refuse to be held back by anyone, especially by myself. And I started teaching on a collegiate level, but I didn't realize that God had me to get my degree in elementary education because I needed all of the tools that I learned in school to work with Chris to help him close the education gap between he and his neurotypical peers. So I just wanted to say that. So Chris and I used to spend hours at the dining room table working together. Um, I taught Chris how to add before he went into the first grade. He was adding, and Chris could read. We did hook. Oh, you remember what did we use when you were reading? You remember?
Uh, of the violence.
Hooked on phonics.
I still remember like lighting up, seeing the little mascots and all that. I I I don't know if it's still around today. I highly recommend to any parent, especially if it's still around, use it. And it was such a grateful tool that I'm glad that we had at that time. Because I think it's enjoyed, why I have an appreciation for books and for reading.
Yeah. And I really think that set the standard in the ground. Now that like we're talking about it,
Hmm.
I really believe because you had a strong foundation for reading, you did as well as you did. And it made it more challenging and difficult for people to dismiss you as you were coming up because you had strengths. Although you had some challenges, you had those strengths to balance it out. But we'll get back to that in a second. But so the point I got on this with is when we spent time at the table, we were an awesome team because you would work so hard with me to 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 get the task and the skills and everything and that, and I didn't mind working with you because your little being would work really hard. Do you remember those moments?
Yeah, I remember. I, I don't. This might be wrong, but I might have been I might have been 8 or 9, and I remember getting so frustrated because I wasn't getting it right, and I remember you telling me, "Chris, it's all right. Don't like take your time. Don't stress about it." And I remember after that, carefully listening to your words, and I remember finally getting it after that moment.
Yeah.
And then I think that was as far as like early as I can go. That was the moment where things started clicking for me.
Okay. When did you realize that you were getting therapy and everybody else didn't get it and you started feeling maybe perhaps a little different?
Like I said earlier, I didn't think nothing of it, but the moment I saw that it was a difference is when Kai would be going to the library and meeting with tutors and stuff. And that's the first time that it clicked in my head. If you're getting stuff at home and she's getting stuff done in libraries and different places, something um you may be behind more than you think you are.
Mm. How did that make you feel?
Um, that was my first real experience with doubt, and it's like you're not who you think you are.
Mm.
that's like the first part from the first time that kind of creeped into my head. Like you think you think you're smart now, but maybe you're really not.
Hmm. Okay, when that happened and you hear us telling you you can and you are smart and you're telling yourself you may not really be smart or that smart, how did you deal with that? And how did you get through that?
Um, I hid, at least tried to. I don't know if it came across. I tried to hide those feelings and just kept pushing.
Hmm. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say about this space before we move on? Or what would you say? Okay. What would you say to yourself now, or what do you think we should have said to you back then that could have helped you process that um you were smart when you didn't think you were smart, or that you could do something you didn't think you could do? Is there anything we didn't do or say that you could say to other parents if they're faced with this with their child?
If they're face, if they're in the position I was in, I would have liked to have been told that why it was important and how it could help me instead of just going off of that it's just a normal thing. It's just I would have appreciated it being just kind of being broken down to the different parts of why I need a what thing.
Oh, you're talking about the therapy. Like you would like to have, you think you would have rather us tell you, instead of you just receiving therapy, why it was important for you to get the therapy, or what
Yeah,
was,
both physical and speech. Because as a kid, I really thought it was just every kid gets it, and every person come each kid's house
okay.
and meet with them. Now, I really thought the person I was meeting with was meeting with all the kids of Pennsylvania. Like that's what how I thought
Mm-hmm.
at the time. Like as a kid, I thought it's a normal thing that, and I was like, oh, Kyra, they're gonna deal with Kyra too. So I really didn't have that much of a, I didn't have an ounce of a inkling that it's just you.
So did you feel a little betrayed or something when you found out that it wasn't everybody? Like,
I
what
I
did, how did
thought
you feel?
I thought it was the biggest. I thought it was the biggest secret that only I didn't know.
Okay, did that make you feel shame,
Um,
or how did it make you feel?
I thought I was way behind than I thought I was. I I thought that I have to catch up to the world instead of the world having to catch up to me.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Anything you want to say, like, about your experience in elementary school, or anything anything you want to share?
As far as I can go back, elementary school wasn't that bad for me. Well, I had its rough moments, of course, but it wasn't. I'm trying to. I can't really recall of anything of.
You know, can I share some
Yeah,
things?
yeah,
When I think of your elementary school years, um, first of all, I was always so proud of how resilient you were. And not just me, your father, your grandparents. We were always so proud of you were the biggest optimist. You always went to school smiling. You were always happy. And to be honest with you, we didn't always get it because there were things we weren't happy with, but you always woke up every day raring to go and couldn't wait to get to school. Couldn't wait um to experience another day because you were the epitome of where there's life, there's hope. And you could always hope for a better tomorrow. And that's what Nana Lissa always says. But you exemplified that when you were little because you didn't see what we saw.
yeah,
We used to see how mean the kids would be, or we would see how they wouldn't always want to be next to you or play with you. And it didn't stop you. It didn't stop you. And do you remember me going on your class trips?
yeah. I remember like that's like, early as I can remember. I remember thinking it was the coolest thing because at least I have somebody today sit next to me. Because like honestly, I think I do kind of remember being happy going to school, but also I think it was kind of like now that I look back on it, I think it was might have been like a little front too. So just kind of carry on attitude, like even though things might be bad, still try to look for the positive in it.
Yeah.
And
But the thing is, you're reflecting on it now and you can see it, but you're kind of looking at it from your grown man perspective. But in real time, you were the happiest little guy. And there were times that I'd be sad or upset because I could see how you were misunderstood and how the kids were. And you didn't let it stop you, like with class trips and everything. But I went on those trips a lot of times to chaperone, yes, but a lot of times I went to make sure you had someone to talk to you and someone to be with you so you could experience. And you always thought it was the coolest thing because we always had a group and you always had people with you because they had to be with me.
yeah, and I think about it now. I think why I look forward to being with you is it was nice that A, you were there, but also so I didn't have to, and it was also my way of thinking. I'm glad I offered to sit next to a teacher today.
Hmm.
Yeah, and because I'm like, at least I'm not gonna be the last person on the bus, but without a partner. To the point where a teacher has to sit next to me, or where kid is forced to sit next to me. It's I have somebody that A genuinely cares about me, and B isn't it just genuinely wants to sit next to me. So that's why I hoped and prayed every day before fellowship that you were coming.
Mm.
Like, at least have somebody.
And I made myself available so you would have somebody. And what used to hurt me is you were the most loyal, awesome, lovable kid, and your peers didn't get to see that because of whatever hangups or things that they have going on. And you know, that's why we're here today, right? To
Mm.
to help other parents and kids by sharing our story, by, you know, supporting them through, right?
And sorry to cut you off, but I think that's why we're so close in a sense because of those early moments from back from everything we talked about. And that's why we still have that like bond and uh, genuine closeness that many people may not have.
Mm. So let's uh let's bring it up a little bit in terms of our story in terms of CASEN.
Uh
As
huh.
you said, CASEN stands for Collaborative Advancement for Social and Emotional Needs. And I want everyone to know that CASEN was Chris's idea. And Chris, tell me how you came up with CASEN. How did CASEN come to be?
So we're jumping ahead a little bit.
We got plenty of time to talk about stories because I got a
Okay.
feeling we're gonna be doing this more often. But
Absolutely. To fast forward a little bit, it was the spring of my of my freshman year, that like randomly I get a text from dad, I need to talk to you. I'm like thinking, me and 18, I'm like, something might be wrong. So I go in, and he's like, I don't know, after being quiet for a little bit, he's like, what do you wish you had that could help kids out today that you may wish you had? And being 18 and still kind of figuring things out, I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, I'll give you a couple days to think about it. I'm like, cool. And I said, after thinking about it, talk, talk, went back to him in a day. And I was like, Dad, it'd be cool. There was a platform that prepared kids first for these major social media sites because of my own struggles. And he's like, cool, who do we talk to? And we were thinking about it right enough. And I said, why don't I bring in the mom? And then I brought it to you. And then you were in. And then Kirsten grew from being what the original idea was to all of this today. And for me, it's kind of like a two system thing. One is a thank you to my dad and his buddies for being that village and support system for me. And also my way of looking out for the next generation because I don't want them to go through what I went through.
yeah, I when you came and asked me for my support, I didn't know anything about technology. I didn't know any. You asked me to help you build a social media app that would be like a precursor for regular social media for kids, to help prevent them from going through what you went through in terms of being bullied, how you dealt with anxiety and at times depression, and knowing what you went through. I said yes to you and had no clue what I was going to do. And the reason why I said yes is because, first of all, I love you and you're my child, but you wanted to do something positive that could help other children. And I immediately said yes. Then I said, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. What can I do? And I searched the internet to see where the gap was in education. And I found social emotional learning was a gap in education. And I just went from there. So that's how we came up with dealing with kids with social and emotional needs. And the reason why we said that because we wanted to teach social emotional learning. And like you were growing up, usually be around 2 years behind socially and emotionally. Therefore, you would get left behind in a conversation sometimes when you were with your peers. Plus, you stuttered a little bit when you started talking fast. And so it was easy for you to get left behind in a conversation. And I wanted to help other kids build their skills to prevent that from happening to them.
Mm.
And that's how we merged ideas and just kept growing. You want to talk, just mention some of the platforms we have?
We have CASEN Connect, which is which will be the social media app, bro. And then we also have CASEN CASEN Outreach in case and that's where we go to different speaking events and go to different camps, schools, churches like we have in the past, different events,
The
and
case and parents,
yeah,
where
yeah.
I'll talk about the last two. We have case and parents where we develop MOAC, Mothers of Exceptional Kids, and that's where we have our support group that meet monthly, every first Tuesday of the month, where parents and caregivers get to come together and share. And we have Case in Education, where we built four different modules: social media readiness, bullying identification, mental health development, and social emotional development. And we empower kids with the tools and skills for each of those things. And we bridge the gap between that and social media by using a different social media platform um, to bridge the gap to from school to their home lives. And then we're happy to announce, yay, with Case and Connect, we are in the process of getting Case and Connect is a social media app that's by invitation only, and we teach bullying identification. We have scaffolding where we teach s- children how to interact with their peers and their teachers online in a responsible way on social media. And we are getting ready to launch our demo where the public can actually access our platform for free as a demonstration. But when it comes down to the actual app itself and the children, it's by invitation only because we want to keep out predators. And it's really anti-bullying. So everything is monitored and vetted. It's so cool. I'm so proud of the work that we did to get to this point. So, yeah, and oh, we have our a conference slash retreat coming up next month, and we are super duper excited because we'll have guest speakers. Chris and I will be on a panel taking questions and answering questions from the audience, and people can write in and just ask us certain questions because we feel as though it's important to talk about our journey to help somebody else along their journey. Um, and it's going to be at the Great Wolf Lodge in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. And if you want the retreat part of it, it's for a weekend, the weekend of October the 24th through the 26th. And it's an indoor water park so the kids can come. It's for family fun, it's for bonding, it's for getting your kids together with other kids who may be socially awkward. It doesn't matter. It's a place of inclusion. We welcome the children. Well, they have activities there. There's bowling, there's miniature golf, arcade, so many water slides, all of this stuff that's included as a guest. But when you sign up with us under the conference, I mean under the retreat, there's a wolf pass that gets you a lot of things, build a bear, stuffed animals, the magic wand, all of this stuff, right? And then for the parents, you got connection, you got education, you got the 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 skills and things that the professionals are bringing in, and other parents. It's power in community. You get all of this, and then if you can't stay for the retreat and you just want to come for the conference, you can come for a 1 day conference. We welcome it. We are about bringing people together. We're about healing the families. We're about healing yourselves as parents so you don't experience burnout. Burnout is real. Anxiety is real. Depression is real. Chris dealt with some of that. You want to say anything?
Um, yeah, I still kind of battle that, and it's all about keep going when even when the clouds may feel dark and you don't want to just you want to be on your own. Just keep going. I was led to say that last part.
Yeah, and here you dealt with it as a child. You're 27 now, and you still have to keep. It's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending journey. And what I tell you, ignoring it doesn't make it go away.
Yep.
So,
That's something common. The common theme of my entire life has been you telling me if you ignore it. I mean, different stuff. If you've always said if you ignore it, it's still gonna find you, and it's not gonna disappear in you. And to the point where now at 27, lessons of that are coming and are just popping in my head like if you ignore it, if you gotta like you're not gonna avoid it. Like you constantly, as far as that goes, even if you don't physically tell me, it's always in my mind, and I appreciate you always instill in that mindset.
what would you tell a
It's
child? What would you tell your younger self or a child today whose parent is saying the same thing? And they may not be listening to their parent like you didn't listen, what would you say and how could you help?
as as much as you tune them out, your parents are right, and and you could have gotten advice that that advice when you were 12. At 22, it'll still it'll still be meaningful for you, and it's still useful. And in one way or the other, you will figure out that it's not gone away. So I rather you get it at 12 than wait 10 years to get it. And again, like I said before, your parents are right, and that's something that I wish. Even though I'm preaching it to my younger self, I'm preaching it to the kids now. You trust you. You may think they're wrong in the moment, but looking back, you'll appreciate their advice.
I love you, son.
I love you too, Mom.
And I'm proud of the man you are and the man you're becoming. I know that God has a lot more for you, and we just got to continue to build your confidence so you can walk in purpose, and not your purpose with me with Casey, but your purpose for yourself as a man.
Mm.
You are awesome and you are unstoppable. You are resilient, you are brave, and you're more powerful than you know.
Thank you for continuously being an inspiration to not only me, but to the world.
Thank you. So, if you guys want to connect with us, we are here to help you. We are here to support you as a parent, as a caregiver, and your child. We have space for both. We have different platforms and different things that we're doing. If you are an educator, if you want us to come out and speak to your youth or to your parents, we have Keeping Kids Safe Online. That's one of our things that we go out and we teach. We go to libraries, we go wherever we're invited. We believe this is an assignment from God to help bring healing and hope to families and restoration, especially to these little neurodivergent children who are told they can't. We're here to tell them they can. Chris was told he can't, and he defied everything. And not only did he graduate, he went to college and he didn't graduate yet, but he gonna go back and he gonna finish that degree, right, son?
Well, right.
Yeah, but we're proud, we're thankful. Again, thank you for listening. My name is Dr. Myava Clark, and I support parents and caregivers of neurodivergent children by providing emotional support and practical tools without burnout while guiding their children toward meaningful friendships where they are celebrated for who they are and not just tolerated. And I want to thank my son, Chris Clark Jr., for showing up tonight, for pouring out his heart and letting you see the awesome, awesome man that I get to see all the time. Go ahead, Chris, take it away and close us out.
Again, it's been a honor to be speaking in front of your audience, and it's been I appreciate giving them my light and my time, and I appreciate you for obviously I could go on and on, but again, I thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to the next time.
All right, thanks. Have a good night. See ya.
Yeah.